Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you tonight for this premiere video for the next Wednesday versus video. I'm sorry that I didn't get around to this premiere video. It's going to premiere on June 4th of 2025. So I hope you will enjoy the first of the two that are being premiered the same day. And yeah, I'm going to discuss what I'm going to be talking about for this Wednesday versus video for Architects versus the story so far, and let you know my thoughts on what I'm going to be talking about. So let's dive into this special Wednesday versus video tonight. So I'm going to start with Architects first. So pretty much they've had a good run for their discography for the most part. I've really enjoyed their material. I think when they got to Lost Forever, Lost Together, that was actually one of my favorite records. Like Naysayer was on that album. My favorite one was All Our Gods Have Abandoned Us too, as well. And it was the last record to feature Tom Searle before his passing of melanoma, skin cancer, of course. So it was really sad, but from what I've listened to with Architects, they've put out some great material from their first album all the way to now their 11th album, which is The Sky, the Earth, and All Between, the new record. But overall, I think Sam Carter's vocals are pretty strong with his screaming potential. I think they're trying to go back to their heavier roots for the most part. I know it's not going to be the same Architects from back in the day, like 2007 with Ruin and all that stuff. But from what I listened to is like Here and Now, Daybreaker, I believe that was one of the records, Daybreaker or something like that. And then Holy Hell was my favorite one. Then you have, what is it? It's the 2021 record, For Those That Wish to Exist. And then The Classic Symptoms of a Broken Spirit was kind of their weakest record, but it wasn't terrible. It was still good, but just one of their weakest. But overall, yeah, they're an option to see if I deemed them to be the winner. Now we'll talk about the story so far. Now with the story so far, I do enjoy their material. Parker's vocals sounded good in the I Want to Disappear record. I still have to hear their earlier material to determine what I think of them, but I don't think they got a lot of albums, if I'm not mistaken. But I know Architects has 11 albums in their discography, so they've been around for a while. But for the story so far, I think Parker Cannon's vocals are pretty strong for the most part. So they've been around since 2011. They have 5 albums. So 5 albums. I have not listened to Under Soil and Dirt, What You Don't See, the story so far, the self-titled album, and Proper Dose. But I Want to Disappear was their latest release from last year in June. But overall, I do like the story so far as well. They got some potential. But would I say they'll be the winner in this case? I don't know. But I really enjoyed like Letterman, All This Time, and Let You Go, I believe was one of the songs. But overall, their whole record for I Want to Disappear was a really strong record. It was probably the album of the year last year, and it was the album of the year last year for 2024 because I deemed it to be because it was a very strong release. So other than that, yeah, story so far is an option to be the winner, but I don't know for sure. So overall, I think both bands are very talented, but I would have to choose Architects as the winner because Story so far is a pop band, and they are very good. They were very close to being a winner, but there's still an option for a later Wednesday versus video to put them as a contender for being a winner for the next Wednesday versus video for season 5 or 6, whenever I decide to put them back on for another Wednesday versus video episode. But overall, I think Architects is going to be the winner in this case. They're a very good band. I really enjoyed their material. They are metalcore, somewhat deathcore in a way, but they try to have more hard rock, heavy metal kind of stuff with their material. But for the most part, I think, yeah, Architects will have to be the winner in this case. I'm sorry to the Story so far and some of their fans. I really enjoyed their music, but I just didn't see them being the winner in this one because Architects has more albums I've listened to, and they only have 5 albums. So there's a big difference. I know I don't usually count albums and all that to kind of weigh out the option of it being the winner or not, but sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but it just depends because Architects has a little more potential, and Story so far has great potential too in their own way, but I just deemed Architects to be the winner because I've listened to them for the longest, and they're probably one of my personal favorite bands. So Architects is going to be the winner in this Wednesday versus video for season 4, episode 18. I hope you enjoyed this episode for Wednesday versus video for season 4, episode 18. And with that being said, thank you guys for watching this premiere video tonight.